Okay, we are now live. Anyway, man, how was your morning anyway?
Good, man. Really good. I've started working out, eating better, and trying to be more healthy. So I can't complain, man. I
You
put,
what time you wake up? What time you work out?
so I'll probably go work out after we get off of here and go work
Okay.
out. Go drop Xander off to church camp, and
Mm.
then drop him off for a little bit, and then come back and pick him and Zay up.
Do you do gym or kind of like around the house or like
I go
what
to.
you do?
I've been going to the gym. So,
Oh, word.
uh-huh. So, mm,
Okay, I need to get on that.
yeah.
My man Kevin Philly is definitely the
Look at
first
Kev
one in the
always up
building.
here, man. Let's go, Kevin. Kev. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, man, it's interesting. I got a couple of things I want to talk about. We're going to talk about more, obviously, but we can wait for some more people to fall in here. It's been an interesting past week with a lot of stuff going on.
For
Um,
sure.
and we're gonna cover some things. And I think, but I also want to talk about when we do. I'm kind of the people that's falling in who aren't falling in from your show. They heard the conversation anyway that you were just having.
Okay.
So I caught the tail end of. So I caught you were on the phone with a couple of people. There was a young lady on the phone. Talking about why people should speak up and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And you had your point of view. I want you to kind of refresh me because I want to deal with that a little bit. Kind of go over a little bit what you guys were talking about. What was the perspective of some people?
Of what particular subject? Like,
So you talk about speaking up about like not dealing with politics. Some people don't want to speak out about certain issues and topics. Some people may not be as educated. Some people might mess up their brands depending on what they're speaking of. So
mhm.
I caught that part of the conversation. I'm not sure if you. I assume you guys were talking about Dave Chappelle was talking about DJ Khaled. I just assumed that. I could have been way off.
No.
Oh, that was what you talking about?
We were talking somebody had brought up Cali Bags had brought up FMW, or no, California or FMW umbrella is the only place where he says black people let people outside of the culture make statements or takes on our culture without correcting or checking them or
Oh,
combating it. And so that's
now I
how
have a
we
different
got to
opinion. But go ahead.
that's how we got to
Okay.
that conversation and what he was talking about. And I basically threw that question or that inquiry, I threw it out to the Ghetto Cafe and said, how do you guys feel about this? What do you think? And that's where we got into. We got a dude from Philly, BTB, I can't remember.
Mhm.
Um, but and then a young lady, Frankie find out, Frankie the Haitian or whatever, she was talking about her stuff. And I was just really just trying to play, like, let's throw in other variables of what we think or what we have an idea of or what they should do or how they should have responded. And then he also brought in, like, well, he appreciated the viral ways take. And I was telling him, like, yeah, there needs to be balance and there needs to be representation of
Mhm.
different outlooks across the board. And they were how they appreciate the wake up show and the stuff we discussed. But I kind of led with, should we throw in the variables of what position they're in or what their capabilities are? Do we have expectations of people or somebody beyond their means or something that they've showed us to be capable of?
Mhm.
And when they don't meet those expectations that we have of them, then we're upset because we've set a standard or an expectation for somebody that they're not even capable of meeting. And that's not like saying ignorant and uneducated, but just
Mhm.
not capable or not can't formulate that thought or that opinion that quickly to combat. Everybody's not a debater. Everybody's not
Yeah, yeah,
able to do that. So, and I
yeah,
was I was bringing that up, like, and then you might have sponsorships, you might have investors, there might be all kinds of things you don't want to ruffle the feathers of your viewer or whatever. And I was telling them, like, here, you don't have to give a damn about that shit because shit, I don't make no fucking money.
right, right, right.
So you might be a little spoiled with that. Like, I don't have to answer to no sponsors or this. There is no check coming in from somebody outside, like, hey, that take or this and that, or I'm not working on the radio. I'm not doing
Right, right, yeah,
so, and I never want to be in a position where I'm compromised to my opinion also. So,
yeah, yeah. That's interesting. Um, yeah, man. I kind of well, hearing the kind of like the facts as far as what happened, and looking at the because I thought you guys were talking about the Khaled and Dave Chappelle thing. So that, obviously, I think something different about that. But um, when it comes to, I feel like this. Depending on what was said, we don't have to go over what was said on FMW and what people aren't defending or correcting, right? But I think whatever's in your wheelhouse, if you feel like it needs to be corrected, checked, defended, then do your thing, right?
Right.
But as long as it's in your wheelhouse, the problem is with something that you may be ignorant to something, or like for example, a lot of people who do speak up on politics and aren't well versed in politics. The problem is, though you may be emotionally tied to a certain side or something like that, speaking up on that always is not necessarily good because you could do more hurt than you do help,
Right.
right? If you're not well versed in the topic, right? It's one thing for me to passionately say, F that side or F that, I'm not with that and we not with this and I don't like Trump or I love Trump, whatever the case may be. If you're not well versed in it and be able to explain why, it's tons of people that here's where it gets tricky. It's tons of people that follow you that you may be doing a disservice to, right? If there's people who hang on to Rios' words and they like how he thinks about certain things and kind of like will follow him kind of somewhat blindly sometimes. People who may be a fan and maybe just a good community member who loves your community.
Right.
And if you tell people like, hey, apples, actually I did some research and apples aren't good for you. They actually do more harm than they do good. And then somebody like, yeah, man, I heard the apples don't. And people start spreading that stuff. The whole time you're completely wrong.
Right.
Right. And you didn't really have the mind frame, or you actually didn't even do the research to be spewing that. You just talking, and that way you did a disservice, right? But if somebody comes to your show and say, I didn't like Obama or I like Trump because of this, and you just like, well, I think he's a racist, and then that person challenges you on your show, well, how so?
Right.
And you have no points of contention, right? You have nothing of. You just say, I just think so because he said this, or because ICE, or because this. The harm that does is you're not wrong necessarily how you feel about it, right? But the harm that does is if you can't break that down, explain that in a way where it can come off to your viewers and listeners, what happens is the look of it may be bad. It may look like, oh, he don't know what he's talking about, and the other person does, even though the other person might not be right in what they're saying. They could be saying baseless facts, or people nowadays on the internet always say something's facts, and if you don't check them or fact check it, they just getting some stuff off, right? I see people all day long following narratives of pages that say use this kind of toothpaste, or use don't eat avocados in the morning, not actually good for you, or don't do this. And I'm like, wait, who are these people? Or what's the famous line everybody do in the comments? Hey, a doctor here, let me explain what, right? Hey, a lawyer here, let me explain what happened. But that don't mean they're actually a lawyer.
Right.
They just be saying stuff. So
exactly.
If you're not well versed in it, then no. Here's the thing though. If you are, right? If Rio says, say if it's me and you, and we're partners, and I say some ignorant as a factual statement on the show about,
it's usually the roles are usually reversed there. I'm usually one saying something ignorant.
No, not
hey, like Rios, let me stop you there, buddy.
No, not at all. Not at all. I just mask mine really good with lies.
Hold the press. He just said something terribly dumb.
No, I just mask it really good. No, but say if that happens, right? Then you have a service to do to let people know, to let me know first of all, to let that stop here, right? And then let the people, the viewers know. Well, let me correct you there because I actually have the facts. Like I've studied this, I've researched this, or I know people, or I know somebody, or I've heard directly. To hey, look, that's not true. Actually,
hold on, real quick.
Okay,
keep talking.
So I think the conversation is a great conversation. I just think also, let me go to full screen while he runs off. So I think the conversation is a great conversation. I just think that people need to know what's in your wheelhouse. That you got. Oh, there you go. Let me get you back. Yeah, I just think you got to understand what's in your warehouse. When it comes to, for example, I remember I did. Remember we just heard the whole Jim Jones thing, the whole rounds with Jim Jones making his rounds, and all the crazy stuff he said on these platforms, right? So we all watched, people who've seen it, Jim Jones make statements that the people who are interviewing him, they know damn well them statements wasn't true.
Right.
And they didn't correct him for whatever reason, right? I can't say
Because
why they
it's
didn't.
because the clip, the virality of the clip for
For
the
sure.
like, and that's what I was telling them. Like the variables in this are what is the person's reasoning behind doing that? We don't know their reasoning. We don't
That's what I
know.
don't know.
We don't know why they let this ride, or if they let it
Mhm.
ride because they didn't have anything to say, or they were caught off guard, or if they're
Mhm.
like, "Yeah, keep going, come on." Like we don't know. But
Yeah, yeah.
but when we look into things and say, "Hey, why you didn't do this?" Or maybe because he's a little nervous of what he was going to say, or he could have, like how you said, the fear of being wrong. But let's up the ante of the fear of being wrong, but also the fear of having to come and admit that you're wrong and apologize and take accountability for a bad take. It's okay to have a bad take. Just man up to it and say, "Hey, I had this shit wrong." Be honest, be truthful with your stuff. That's also another fear of I don't want to have to go on here and be vulnerable and say, "My bad, y'all. That was bad.
Yeah.
I should have did this and whatever."
And most not going to do that. To your point, yeah, it should happen. You should be able to say, I had a bad take and I admit to this, right? For example, Jim Jones admitted he made a bad take about the music when he was on Shannon Sharp's show, right? But that's only because Shannon Sharp was one of the few to call him on his BS,
Yeah.
right? Like, that's not true, what you're saying. And then he had to admit it wasn't true. So here's the thing, though. You still, because I agree with what you're saying also. The flip side is I still agree, is that you still get the viral clip because the statement was made, right? Now, to your followers and your fans, I can't, certain things I can't Rios can't say a blatant, wild, insane, crazy, non-fact about something, and I know it is.
Mm-hmm.
For me and you, I gotta help us,
Right.
right? So just like I would expect you to do. If I try to speak on some Long Beach business, and you like, nigga, not only am I from Long Beach, my people's from here, I live here, my family, there's so many things I know about this place. I can't let you just speak on Long Beach and be wrong when I have the facts. Now you can let me finish, right? But there has to be some. First of all, there don't have to be anything, but there should be some correction so you can let me know, educate me right there on the spot, and let the viewers know to don't take this further than what he just said because it's wrong.
Yeah, but
Right?
that's if you put an importance and a value on educating. You have to put an
No,
importance and a
100%. Right there
value
for
on
sure, for sure.
educating
For sure, for
over
sure.
saying like,
Yeah.
you know what, I'm gonna finish this conversation on camera
100%.
so that we get the answers, or let's leave this conversation open so they can have the debate in the chat, which makes it go even more viral.
Yeah,
So
because sometimes
if I
you
give
let a
them the
nigga jump off a
answer,
cliff for
jump off
embarrassment.
a
Yeah.
cliff so people can have this debate and conversation in the chat. If I kill it and finish it off right here, there's not much need for things to be said.
So to your point, which and I agree with that also. You, if you come here, if you go to certain places for the educate, I don't go to Joe Budden podcast for educational facts,
Right.
unless maybe Mark Lamont Hill says a couple of facts every now and then. I don't look outside of him. I don't look for nothing. Them niggas don't do no research, no nothing. They just
Right.
say stuff. And opinion based, and Joe Budden being a resident musician, his music takes usually uh, are louder than them because he uses the frame of I've been doing this on music. Even though I know a lot of those opinions are wrong also. But I don't go there looking for it, right? So to your point, yeah, that's why there's something for everybody. You
Right.
don't go there if you don't go here looking for facts because we just wilding over here. This is crazy.
Right.
This is supposed to be crazy. We're supposed to make you laugh. It's supposed to be silly or whatever the case may be. But here's the problem also. When these same platforms, not speaking of none in particular, when these same platforms do the serious topic or the serious stuff, it gets quiet. Everybody get real monotone with how they speak. They're trying to speak on the facts. They're reading about an article. They're reading about a case or something like that. Then those are the times the people turn off the silly ear too and the silly eye too. And now they're listening for facts. So now they're listening for you to direct them in a way they need to be directed. And if that's not correct, it's the reason why people argue on shows. It's the reason why Ish and Mark Lamar Hill had that big old argument about the flat Earth. Is the Earth flat or not?
Mm-hmm.
Because now that we got a serious topic, and Mark Lamar Hill not only did research on it and went to school for a lot of that stuff, he's like, I can't just let you say that, and I actually have the facts. This your opinion. I actually have the facts. I've been doing research. I talked to scholars, scientists, a bunch of things. So now it's me to do a disservice. I mean, it'd be a disservice if I let you get this off just for the jokes. The thing is, that works also because people will also use that moment for a viral moment also. So not only did you make the silly comment, not you, Rios, but not only did somebody make the silly comment, also they're going to clip that, and they're going to also clip me correcting you, and then turn it into this war thing. But to your point, no matter what the case be, I think you go to certain podcasts or certain platforms for certain things, and you maybe shouldn't look to these people for that.
Yeah, you don't go to the circus to see the NBA Finals. Like,
you don't.
It's just not what it is. And we also have to take into consideration the new opportunities and revenue streams that this has created, this live streaming situation has created. This is a whole new market, a whole new promotion and how to market yourself, and use this as a platform to market other areas in your life. Like Jim Jones, like I'm about to go viral on these hot takes and these crazy takes that I have, but also as I make these takes and claim my music is this and that, people are going to inquire and be inquisitive to go to my music catalog and play stuff on Spotify or Apple, which me going crazy here is going to create income over here. And all I'm trying to do is create a buzz. I really don't give a damn about what I say. I'm just trying to create numbers. And that's the other dangerous side of it, is being all about monetary gain. And a lot of these people are all about monetary gain.
Yeah. It's for the, it's like you get the numbers, you get the views, you go viral, you're on Everybody Explorer page. And I'm looking at it like, but at what cost? Now, all the real ones you so-called claim to be, and the people that used to crowd around you because they thought you was one, now they're looking at you like fool. You look like a clown.
Right.
And now your word ain't worth nothing because we know that you do that.
Mm-hmm.
We know that you're willing to sacrifice it all for the numbers. And so for somebody like me, I'm like, oh, no, you're an idiot. Okay, I got it. You know, if there's a way to go viral without doing that, but for the people who do that, I'm not mad at that, but I look at them a certain way. I just put them over here. Like, okay, these are the ones that go silly, crazy, go for viral. Cool, I got it. Right? It's like listening to academics. I can't. It's like, you know that he's saying the craziest stuff, so he can go viral. Also, the numbers come in, right? But I'm not looking for him to give me nothing more than that. You know what I mean? I just look at it like clown activity. So, you know, and it's all good. It's just at what cost? If Rios is saying the wildest, craziest things, and now he can't even talk to his wife at night because she embarrassed because he had embarrassed her on the fucking podcast all day long, or his kids is getting clowned at school because their daddy said something ridiculous, then I'm like, nigga, was it worth it? Like, you know what I mean? So for some people it is, right?
Right.
Clown activity, but I'm not with none of it anyway.
And sometimes the lack of a response, or a response that you don't like, creates a space for somebody else to have a response. Like FMW not responding to Duno with the Tupac stuff or whatever, them not having the answers right there in real time allows opportunities for other platforms, the viral way, to say, hey, no, I'm going to use this moment to call this out, which creates a space to educate, to make other people aware also. So your lack thereof gives me the opportunity to educate and promote what I'm talking about.
For sure. What did Duno say about Tupac?
I can't remember. Something like I don't know. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but something like he owes his career to like Mexicans made Tupac or something like that.
Oh, okay. He got to knock it off. But okay, look. Mm-hmm. So we're not going to talk about that. So anyway, man, how was your fourth, bro?
My fourth was good. I can't complain. Like, we just chill. We don't do too much on 4th of July. You know, people be out there acting crazy, drinking, and our shit is just about food, family, chilling, and relaxing.
Were you at home, or did you travel somewhere? Did you go give your family somewhere else?
We went to our family's house not too far away and just barbecued, swam, and that's it. Yeah.
Okay. Same with me. We went to my wife and I, a couple of our friends. Well, they're all couples. We all went to. There's a little park in the marina that we go to. We went to couple of years, and it was cool. It was we spent the day out there for the most part, brought food and stuff. It was dope. The only thing was messed up was that the minute it turned night, like so the fireworks show was supposed to start at 9.
Uh-huh.
The minute like 8:50 rolled in, almost 9 o'clock, nigga, the fog came out of nowhere so cold that when the fireworks went off, you couldn't even see them.
Oh shoot.
Dude, you can it's the crazy, it was the craziest thing. Over the whole marina, the fog came in, you literally couldn't see fireworks nowhere in the city.
Damn.
Like nowhere. It was the craziest thing. I was like, oh,
Like,
you must go see fireworks tonight.
let's just go home. They sound great.
They sound great. So it was the craziest thing. But other than that, man, I had an awesome time. I wasn't mad at that. I think what's interesting is I want to get into some other fireworks that went down
Uh-huh.
with my man Fo Extra. Obviously, you've seen what happened,
Yep.
right? You don't miss too much. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Like like I have thoughts on the complete situation, thoughts on
Well, refresh the people what happened first.
well, he was playing with firecrackers as we call them or whatever, and basically a damn quarter stick of dynamite and blew his hand off. It just as soon as he lit it supposedly it just went off. He blew his hand off. Respect and prayers out to him and his family because that's a life altering situation.
For sure.
That's not something I take lightly or joke about, especially being a father, being, like it changes your life. What happened is forever going to change him.
100%.
But just the awareness of safety, the awareness of what you're doing. And also prior to this, the things he was saying prior to doing it, I don't know if somebody had clipped it or whatever, but it was just the wrong energy. Like be careful what you're promoting. Be careful of what you're saying, the energy that you're spreading, because sometimes, and a lot of times, that shit comes back to you. And I'm not blaming him or it's his fault, but I'm just not the type of person that plays with crutches or wheelchairs or anything like that. Like I don't joke around. I don't laugh at certain shit. I don't make empty threats. I don't do stuff like that.
You know what's crazy, man? So shout out to Sir No Face. I see him made this comment here. You know what's crazy is that we were coming up, right? I remember M80 was the one.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The M80 was like, if you had M80s, you was the man on the block.
Yeah,
right?
all you got is a cherry bomb. This is an M80 right here.
Right. Now, somebody got an M80. It's like, dog, he got dynamite down there, basically, is how he's looking at that. And it's like every year, the packages are getting bigger, pause. The fireworks are just getting more explosive. And we're now at like M1000s and all that stuff, right? So
a quarter,
the crazy part
is, M1000 is a quarter stick of a dynamite.
Straight up.
So 4 of those is a stick of dynamite.
He had 2 in his hand.
2 in his hand in the video. I don't know what ended up doing.
That's what I'm saying. So
and they have glue in them, like the ones I used to have. You could throw them in water and they still blow up.
For sure.
It's still lights and everything.
And remember the stem was waxed, so it took a while. It took a second, a little second to, you know what I mean? It's like first of all, I don't wish that on nobody. That's a horrible thing. And what happened to him, in my opinion, not that I know all the facts, what happened to him, if you're playing those games, could have happened to anybody because of back in the day. First of all, I can't even tell you how many M80s I threw personally on my own hand. Right. Or how many M100s I threw personally on my own hand, held it, maybe chased somebody, threw some, held it for a little too long and still got it off. Right. Any one of those times I could have had a bad stem. I'm hearing he had like a quick fuse. And then it did me dirty, right? Any one of those times, which I thank God for that didn't happen, and it lets me know how young and stupid I was, or anybody doing that, playing that game. So for him to do it, I'm sure that's history of like I've been doing this. Every fourth I probably threw some M80, M100, M something. But this time wasn't. It was just a bad time, and since for me, I don't know what time's gonna be a bad time. Usually when you get older, you stop doing stuff like that. You like, man, I don't. To your point, bro, people should stop. Once we stop looking at it like calling it by the fashionable numbers, M1000, M8, all this stuff. Once you call it a quarter stick of dynamite, That should it even sounds different when you put that kind of like phrasing on it. Like the actual name is it sounds different. It's nothing to play with. And these rockets are getting, dude, the rockets are getting bigger. They're getting bigger. They create one fall over, which happens almost every 4th of July. Somebody like that to put the ball down in the thing, pause, the light, that thing tilt over, and then next thing you're shooting at somebody's car or somebody's house,
Right.
right? It's just getting more dangerous, man. And I hate to sound old and out of touch, but I've seen enough hands blown off or people getting hit by rockets and all this stuff like that to know, or people chasing people with Roman candles like it's a game, right? And it's just all bad. His hand looked horrible. I seen the have you seen the unedited picture?
Yeah.
It's it's not even a hand. It wasn't even a hand. I seen the X-rays. It wasn't even a hand. It was like it was all bad.
He
And that's
he has a
terrible.
nub. It's a nub now. You know what I mean? And it's sad. Like that shit just is. Be at the end of the day, this is a young black man that
Mm.
lost his hand. I don't care what you guys say about the gang banging or this and that. Like really, this is one of God's children. Like that just blew his damn hand off, and maybe out of ignorance, maybe out of whatever. But the bottom line is his hand is gone, and that shit
Yeah,
sucks.
yeah. It's messed up because then also the rumors of the streets is like he can't be from 40s no more. He got to be from 20s because like you know
Half of the number, that's cold blooded.
yeah yeah
But with all the I was talking about to the wake up show, with all of the progress they're making in technology, they have these hands that move and arms that move just with your thought. And so if he can afford it, I know he had to GoFundMe, so like
I'll
his medical
put a little
insurance,
extra little couple on, get the little robotic arm.
he finna throw up the personal aloha sign for the rest of damn.
Yo,
I don't even know
yo,
what the aloha sign is. Oh, damn.
yo. All right, that's it. That's it.
Damn. But no, because they took all that off. They took it all off. That was all just carnage that was left over. That was just carnage. Like
Oh
you
yeah,
can't
just
say
literally a dub.
yeah,
Wait,
they
don't
had,
did any figure survive?
I don't think so. Like did you it was just opened up. Like what it was bones that were like what do you
Yeah,
do? Like, oh,
and I heard somebody else got hurt.
let me put this blended meat back on your bone. Like you can't put
Yeah, you
shredded
can't
beef
put
back.
pulled pork back on the strip, back on
Yeah.
yeah, nah. Damn, that's his the good hand too, right? Like it's dominant hand.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, his right hand. Whatever hand he was about to throw or do, you like your firework with your good hand. Like
Yeah.
if you about to throw it, it's like a baseball. You're gonna throw it with.
Yeah. Damn. That's terrible, man. That's terrible, man. I can't.
Somebody said his homie got half his face blew off. Also,
That's what I said. He had
his
a friend
homie,
also that got messed up. Also, yeah,
really?
people not even talking about that.
Damn, I didn't know that. I did hear that he made it to the New York Times or the New York Post. The story of that made
I
it
seen
to.
that.
So he had Kevin Gates come visit him. Sometimes things can happen to you, but it could be a blessing in disguise. Maybe to help him rethink what's going on, maybe slow down a little bit, maybe use his star power for a better way. Now, you know what I mean? Sometimes God has a way of humbling you and putting you in a
Yeah.
place to be stronger, be better.
Do you think? Do you think this will humble him? I mean, I hope. We hope, right? But
Yeah.
Do you think so?
I do think so. I pray so. You know what I mean? Like I never know
Yeah.
what is
Yeah.
planned or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
but there's no way that you could get your hand blown off and you don't somewhat think differently.
I mean,
Like I would expect there to be
some people get
some kind of
worse.
outlook that something would change.
Some people. Now, I hope so, but sometimes it get worse for people. Sometimes people take it, and it's a lot of. See, it's one thing to carry that when you were just four extra on the block and nobody knew you but the homies and game banging, right? That's one thing. But now you're like four extra known on the internet, and people kind of know you now, and now people are like Enemies are making videos clowning you. People are making videos joking about you. Memes are popping up. AI videos with your hand. It's a bunch of stuff popping up, and that can maybe two things. Where it can humble you, and you kind of deal with what you're dealing with, or it can send you in a it can send you in a whirlwind of just like revenge and get back.
I don't see how trying to tie your shoe with one hand don't humble you. That's a humbling experience and a difficult experience. I don't see how that doesn't bring some kind of light or recognition. You down there trying to tie your shoe with 5 fingers on the same hand. We got to think about the regular stuff. Like there ain't no can opener. There ain't no stuff like that. There's a lot of changes that happen in that. You know what I mean? Like just your morning routine, brushing your teeth, getting dressed is affected.
You know, God understands sarcasm.
Yeah, he does. And I'm not being sarcastic. I'm being completely honest. Like imagine trying to tie your shoe right now. You've had both your hands all your life. And then
it's
the next morning,
all Vans from now on, slip-ons.
like try like that, putting your belt on, putting on a tie, putting your earrings in, putting just anything.
Float
Everything
extra in Crocs is wild.
That's just difficult.
Yo, sir, no face.
Crazy.
In Crocs is wild. Hey, that's crazy, man. Yeah, I feel bad, man. No matter what's the case, I feel bad if anybody went through that. Getting your hand, because a lot of times we heard that. We heard somebody got their hand blew off, and especially before social media, we heard a lot of that stuff. People get their hand blown off, whatever, and then you don't see a lot of it. You just hear it, or I've been around. You know, I know somebody, one of the homies got hurt in the hood, and somebody threw an M82 close to somebody, and they was bleeding, and I seen all that, but that looked like he almost didn't let it go. Or, to your point, he lit it and it fast lit and just blew up before he had a chance to do anything.
Right.
And ain't no telling what else is affected. I remember, we're not going to say his name, but one of the other hosts from another podcast was saying that he was probably hurt a little more than we know. Like the hand is the one thing, but there's he's actually hurt in other areas also.
Really?
And yeah, like, you know, I would think, look, man, a quarter stick of dynamite blowing up next to you is a lot on it, right? There's pieces that blow up. There's all kinds of things that happen. If it blew up in your hand, that means it's an arm's reach from your face, your throat, your neck, eyes.
Anything. But also, it turns your bones into shrapnel.
Damn. That's sick. I didn't even think about that.
The blast radius.
Yeah. See, and for his homie, if that happened to his homie for real, if that's a fact, that his face was injured in that kind of way, I'm like, where was he at? You know what I mean?
He might have been doing like this, going to throw it, like.
Yeah,
and then it just blew up right here. You know what I mean? Or somebody threw it, or I don't know. I don't know how you do that.
That too, you know, Sir No Face makes a good point. That's why you know, you don't understand how a lot of people don't understand how karma works and when it strikes, right? He says, Sir No Face say, read what you sow. He shouldn't have been saying he's gonna blow people up. Because that's what, remember the video right before that, before we saw that we heard about the explosion, was he put on this live about how he gonna blow somebody up. And I'm like, nigga, you didn't know it was you. Immediately, karma was like immediately showed up to the front door. And it was you.
It was you.
Here's the thing too, we always handle these things. Think about it. When it comes to, I used to say the same thing when I used to pop pills. I know it's a quick left, but when I used to pop pills, I used to say, damn, we don't know nothing about who's making these pills. We just taking them, and then we expect it to be Molly or ecstasy, right? Not knowing if it was like laced with speed and a bunch of other stuff. You know what I mean? And you just like, I remember I was in San Francisco, and before we did a show, Warren had a show, and we was on tour with Warren at the time, and I was hype man, whatever, and I popped the pill before I got on stage. Dude, I took the pill maybe like an hour before I got on stage, and I went to the bathroom like 3 times before we went on stage, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what's going on? But I understood how they would, they cut pills with baby laxatives. And
Oh
depending on
shit.
how much you put in there, yeah, so depending on how much you put in there, you got a laxative effect that's happening.
Yeah.
Which meaning somebody doing this wrong, the measurements are off, they could be putting anything in there. And how do you know every time, if you were doing that, which I was, how do I know every time that this was straight up MDMA?
You don't. You
Ain't
trust in
no telling
somebody
what you
else.
actually did, how much drugs you actually did that's mixing these things.
You putting your
You just
trust in
buying
another
attention from
person.
niggas.
Right.
Huh?
You putting your trust in somebody else that making sure thinking that they did the
100%.
right thing.
So when you buying fireworks, right, quarter sticks, dynamite, M1000, whatever, like you don't know how well these are made. First of all, they're not even legal to be selling damn near nowhere. Yes, there are places, right? But when once they hit America, it's all funny. It's all go.
Right.
And I'm like, you don't know how. Obviously, that was something wrong with that. It was a bad batch or a bad stick of dime, whatever happened. And that's messed up. That's messed up.
A set of unfortunate events.
Damn, he said the new X pills are basically caffeine, meth, and baby laxatives. Nigga, what?
Stay away from drugs, people.
I'm just so glad I got off the. I didn't tell that story, but I was addicted to pills for a while, and I ended up getting myself off for real.
Right. Was
Like, it was bad.
like what, like X pills?
Yeah.
So like when people say I'm addicted to pills.
MDMA, period.
Okay.
It was bad, bro. Like I would go days of not doing it just from like trying to chill or whatever. And then nigga, I'll have a rush, like a pill rush, just randomly.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's coming out of my system, whatever, just like a week, or maybe I'll be a week or 2 weeks, I'll be at the house and my legs just start shaking. I feel that feeling coming over me. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm not even doing no drug. Like,
Right.
it was bad, bro.
It was in your system so heavy.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a wild time back there. That was whole Mollywood era. We was really, that music didn't just come from nowhere, nigga.
Right.
He was wild.
Talk about it and be about it.
Dog, he was wild. Nah, but yeah, that's crazy, man. I was tripping on that with him going through that, and I that's terrible. I can imagine nobody going through that.
On the other hand,
Hmm?
let's give a shout out to Mark Nasty,
First of all, I see
Problem,
what you did.
and Joe Moses.
Real
I
quick,
think they got a song together.
I got you. We're gonna stop you there, though.
Because of
We
Mollywood.
don't get to that. But I also see what you just did.
What?
See, Rios, y'all let him pass. I'm not giving no passes. You see what he just did just now.
What are you talking about? You were bringing up Mollywood, and I was just had to bring up.
On the other hand,
on the other side of the story. On the other hand, let's give up some shout out to MN, Problem, and Joe Moses. Shout out to MN. He's on Legendary Run right now.
that wasn't a 4 extra joke.
No. Mm-mm.
If it was perfectly placed.
Nope. I was just commenting on what we were talking about.
All right. Look, yeah, see, they feel me. Look, they caught it. They caught you, bro.
That just happened. That's just a coincidence.
Hey,
all
bro.
right. We had
The
switched
Ghetto
subject.
Cafe, they're definitely in the building. They know how you joke. They know how you get down. They know. Anyway, so you said they dropped the song Joe Moses, Problem, and Mark Nasty?
Yeah, I believe so. I haven't.
Song?
Is produced, I think, or Problem be working.
Yeah, for sure. So first of all, I'm gonna clap it up for that, because that alone, people gotta understand. For those who don't know the history, which you and I we do, right? For Problem and Joe Moses to be on the song together already is a feat in itself. And should be celebrated. That's a long way coming, long time coming from like old music history stuff. You know what I mean? Things that was going on in the streets, things that are going on behind the scenes. I'm so glad that cats like Prob and Joe Moses have shown so much growth in his music that they can just appreciate, you know what I mean, the music and appreciate the artistry and get down, because it's never that serious. And it never was. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think I would just in that moment, I want to clap it up for them always for doing that, man. I wish I had the song here. I don't have the song. How you like it?
I haven't heard it. I just saw it. I thought I was on Yazzer's page, showing that they was working or something. I saw it somewhere.
Okay,
Oh,
that's
you
dope. I
know,
gotta tap in with P and hear that.
Don't Panic is not around no more.
Hmm? Oh, what
I
happened?
think I think his page got clipped.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That reminds me of a topic I want to get into. We'll jump into it after this, but
Okay.
I don't know if you heard about the new YouTube rules.
What's the new YouTube rules?
Starting, so we gonna jump into it?
Yeah, let's get into that. I don't know what's going on.
Just so say starting July 15th, YouTube will should I go full screen with this? No, I'll do it. YouTube will pay creators who use their real voice and produce original content. The following would not be eligible for monetization: reuse or repurpose videos, copy content, low effort uploads, or what's that? Fully AI generated videos.
Videos.
Fam,
Hey,
do
they've been
you
making
understand
a lot of people's money about to be messed up.
what? Dog, do you understand how much people? I'm talking people who are making hundreds of thousands of dollars or a lot of money, bro.
Millions of views on faceless YouTube pages.
Bro, think about the Clippers. The
Oh
people who just
shoot.
take, man, what? Bro, the people who just take like Snap videos, DDG videos, clip and repost. Now, mind you, if you're making money on TikTok, that's a whole other thing. But TikTok ain't always gonna be here either. That's a whole other conversation. And
Ooh.
dude, the Clippers who just take content, there's one dude I know, all he do is clip Joe Budden content. That's how he makes his money.
On
So
YouTube?
yeah, on YouTube. That's all he do. He repurpose Joe Budden content, make clips, and that's how he gets money. Get tons of
Damn.
views. Or somebody who's doing an AI generated video with a voice, or where maybe have some animal facts and they put the AI generated thing behind, and that's it. Those
Oh,
people who got like 10 pages, bro, of AI generated stuff like that, fam, I know
damn.
niggas right now is panicking. That's crazy.
I didn't know that, and that's happening on June 15th?
July 15th. I looked it up on
July 15th, I'm
other
sorry.
pages. Also, it came up on other articles. Also, I had to make sure this post because I seen the post first. It was on with Say No Cheese.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think it was Say No Cheese page, and I googled it and I found some other articles talking about the same thing. The new how YouTube going to affect how that's going to affect monetization for a lot of people. And I'm like, yo, because look, here's the thing. That's a huge payout for people who taking content that people are already making,
Yeah.
right? And it's like the ultimate cheat code. I mean, more of us should have been doing it, but if YouTube, they more so like, nah, y'all ain't gonna keep getting money like that. Like y'all ain't making content. You making content that we paying somebody for already. You know what I mean? Like
That's
that's wild.
mm-mm-mm. Damn.
That's wild.
Hey, but money was good while it lasted,
Yeah, but to a content. See, me, I'm a true creative. Rios, you're a true creative, right? No disrespect to nobody, and I really don't mean this to people who copy or repost a clip or anything. Because if you made a living using a backdoor or first of all, it wasn't even backdoor. It was all legal. Doing an operation like that, then hats off to you. That's a skill because you got to keep it up also.
Right.
But it's the time to get creative, right? To get like what isn't out there. What can I serve the people? What can I give the people that they can't get anywhere? Right? It's only one luck, so I got to keep doing what I'm doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Rio's got to keep doing what he's doing. The AM Wake Up Show is his thing. That's his vibe, his community. He built it when it was one follower all the way to what it is now, right? So we keep being creative, keep doing that, and then don't be like, kind of like focus on what you focused on and keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Because that's code.
Because now you're not in competition with a robot, AI, or some software program.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? It's like the hard work, bro. You're on it every day, Monday through Friday, and then post little videos here and there. Maybe Friday and Saturday. I mean, Saturday and Sunday you might go live, depending on what you do. And then this dude who just got shorts on the page, all AI resurfaced material. You may put a video game playing over like a biblical verse that's
Right.
talking in the background,
Right.
and then he getting 1 million views, which is fine. I'm not hating on that, but it's in the grand scheme of like what it took you to do, what it took him to do. It's the ultimate cheat code.
And now you have to use your own voice too. Ooh wee.
bro, what? That's wild. That's wild. Yeah, nah, man. That's tough. It's gonna be some huge. And TikTok, they started, that TikTok got to sell by. Is it this year? They got to sell TikTok, and then the US is gonna make their own version.
I don't know.
Got to talk about the conspiracy theory on that. I've been hearing that. So TikTok is. I don't have the facts here, which I should have. Well, I'm telling y'all, I don't have the facts here. So take this with a grain of salt. TikTok is supposed to shut down if the owner doesn't find a buyer. It's going to be banned in the U.S. Right? They set that precedent early this year with Trump, I think, or was it last year? I forgot. And I think the deadline is this year, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe somebody in the comments let me know if I'm off.
Well, they already gave them a deadline, and then they went past the deadline. Like
because they're working on something. Here's the conspiracy theory, in my opinion, which I've heard. Right? The U.S., which they just start promoting, is offering their own version of like a TikTok thing, right? It's not called TikTok, but it's kind of like that, right? What I've been hearing is they're trying to shut down TikTok is because of the data that they have that USA and doesn't have their not privy to, and the fact that is in China that is the they don't trust China also, which whatever, that's political. I don't get into all that. But also they're trying to gain that control, the U.S.
Yeah.
So that's why they're making a whole platform, hopefully to move everybody over there or force everybody over there to use that because they're doing their own back end stuff with your data and your information also. So it's like it's not going from bad to good. It's going from if you're arguing bad to bad.
Right, but I don't think it's gonna land like how TikTok landed. It's probably gonna benefit either Instagram, YouTube more so. Like I would incentivize YouTube right now. Like, hey, if you guys do reels here instead of putting instead of putting it on TikTok, if you do reels here, we incentivize reels on YouTube.
Well, essentially, they kind of do, right? With the shorts, the time of shorts has expanded,
but you don't get paid. Like the money is not the same. Like
it's not the same at all. You do get paid. The money's not the same though.
It's not the same. They're more
get millions of views.
Shorts are more so to get viewing, to get followers.
For sure.
It's incentivized to build your following versus.
That's why you got to get
8 minute.
That's why you got to get. That's why you got to get millions and millions of views. Even with monetization, me trying to do monetize is like you got a certain amount of watch hours, but when it comes to shorts, you got to get 10 million views. Like 10 million, nigga, like what? So it's a whole other thing.
Let's cook AI.
Right. Right. But see, look, that's why though, that's the other side why I'm not mad at that. Right? Because certain rules or restrictions are in place to, first of all, you're not supposed to make it so easy. Right? Also, somebody has found the shortcut. Oh, well, I'll repurpose videos. And we understand how people are. Instagram, TikTok, and platforms like that has gotten us used to the vertical format and shorter videos. Attention span is shorter. People don't want to look at whole content, whole videos. So that's what's happening. They go to YouTube for like vlogs and bigger videos or documentaries or whatever the case may be. But that's why YouTube started shorts, because they understood that also the viewer want to see shorter videos in a vertical format, right? So I get that. So when people found a way to go around that, like, okay, yeah, we're gonna get this money this way, boom, and we're gonna blow past the 10 million, because if every video you drop as a short, if you figure out a way, if every video is getting 1-2 million, you get monetized in what, 10 videos,
right? And the deadline is September 17th
for TikTok. Yeah,
but they've already done 3 extensions, so I'm like, why wouldn't they do another extension? They're probably just waiting, like you said, till their shit is ready, and then
for sure. I think because you threaten it because something it's beneficial and something's going on. So it's almost like me and you got a deal in place, and I'm extending it because the deal is super beneficial for me, right? And I don't want to lose the deal, so I extend it because I got things in place we try to get right. Right. There may be underhand deals going on.
Well, the thing about TikTok, what I think they're really kind of on top of, what they're not talking about, is like the store, the TikTok store. like where you could buy stuff and
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
a lot of people are purchasing off of TikTok.
for
And
sure.
so I think maybe Amazon or somebody did a deal with them because it was taking buying power from people going to Amazon because TikTok store was like so
Yeah,
right
why
there.
leave TikTok? You can
Hmm.
just buy right there in that platform at good deals. They have good deals all the time. They got their own bucks that you can get stuff with and incentives to buy certain stuff and get bucks and use
And
that money in
incentives
return
to
to buy stuff.
promote it,
Yeah,
incentives to promote product also.
which is
So,
smart. And Amazon got a history of buying small businesses in competition and crushing them,
right.
which in business it happens all the time. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's wild. That's wild. I do want to switch topics if that's okay. I
Yeah.
see somebody bring this up, and I want to know what you thought about this. Um, the I don't know if it's the feds exactly who came out with the government are saying now that um, Jeffrey Epstein
Yeah.
um, that it was no sign of foul play, there's no list, and everything points to suicide. They're now claiming that these are the facts right
And
now,
now
right?
all of a sudden they have camera footage,
All
video
of a sudden,
footage of, oh,
yeah.
nobody came in. All right, man. Whatever, dude.
And they've been telling us for what years that there's a list, right? The list is crazy. We're not ready to release it yet. They've been telling they're talking to us like they haven't been telling us for years something else.
Right. Like we didn't listen. Like what kind of butterfly flex shit effect shit you trying to do here? Like,
No. Let me ask you, and maybe I mean I don't really have the answer to this. I'm not sure if we any of us have the answer to, but what do we do? It's like this country says and just does anything. Now we're at the point where we used to argue the Constitution would protect some things, right? For blacks, that's a whole other conversation because it never really protected us. But the Constitution protects,
Constitution, smonstitution.
right, right.
That was our take.
That was our, I was like, oh, you mean that paper that they wrote a
Yeah.
long time ago, like,
Oh, that thing that benefits you. Oh, okay. Yeah.
right? But now it's like we're watching things happen that are direct conflict and intentionally pushing past the Constitution. It's not even low key. Like you're watching Trump do stuff like, yeah, we're not doing that. We changing it. And he's saying out of his mouth, we're changing it. We're changing how the world works. We're changing how America works. We're redoing it. We're stripping everything down. The law just passed for them to um, go ahead with the firing of like most of the federal government people. A lot of people they
Hmm.
don't agree with. That doesn't line up with their agenda and don't line up with their moves or whatever. They're going to start firing a bunch of people. The Supreme Court, which I think he has 5, 6 judges on the Supreme Court
Hmm.
that are Republican under him that he handpicked. I'm sorry, that are under him that he handpicked, and then the rest are Republican anyway.
Exactly.
Right. So it's like when it comes to like them telling us about an Epstein story and they say one thing and change it, they're also like, yeah, and do something.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
What
Like,
you gonna
yeah,
do about it? What you
right.
gonna
What you
do?
gonna do? Who are you gonna go to?
We are
Right.
the people.
We are the people, right? Yeah, right.
House of
We are the
Representative,
people.
Senate. Like
We
we
are the
had the
people.
president. Like what?
So as Americans, what do? How long do we sit up and just joke and laugh about it? How long do we ever now? I have friends who moved. I have friends who got dual citizenships. I got friends who moved to Ghana. I got a homegirl who moved to Guam. I got people who moved literally left the country. People I
You
know moved to Portugal, live very nice there.
you
What do
you
we
have
do?
to not like if you can't beat them, join them. Not that kind of thing, but use the system to your favor and work on the things. Go to vote. Really get involved in this shit. Like it's only reason why this shit is happening is because we be asleep.
Do you think? Well, 100% that's a fact. We are be asleep. But do you also think that with the conversation we just had about they doing whatever they want and they changing everything, how do we have a conversation about voting next time? Because you're talking to somebody who's telling you I might go for a third term, which constitutionally is not possible. He's also telling you F the Constitution.
Right.
So Like, so voting does what? Well, he can basically tell you, like, I don't know, we're gonna just change it.
Well, you saw what happened the last time,
Yeah,
January 6th or whatever, but
yeah.
you gotta, I don't want to say trust the process, but you have to show up in numbers where it's so transparent in what the country is supporting, you know what I mean, that you can't go against it. But
I
there's
I'd be
going to be
willing to say,
followers of him that are
mhm,
going to be there no matter
yeah.
what.
Fam, we were just talking to somebody. No, that was my live. My man, and he always show up too. Is it PNP? I call him PNP. That president, not president.
Uh-huh.
He's a Ghetto Cafe member.
Mm-hmm. No,
Yeah,
no, no. But I know who you're
he's
talking
not
about.
okay.
He be in there.
Okay, but PNP. So he was in my live, and he was talking about no disrespect to him, and I definitely didn't have any bad. We just had a disagreement on Trump.
Okay.
He was saying, basically, he was saying, what bad has Trump done, really? And I'm like, I didn't think he was serious. I was like, wait, are you serious? I wasn't trying to, you know. And he was like, no, I'm serious. And I said, bro. So not only did I start naming stuff, and the people in the comments start naming like different stuff with the changing of laws, the ICE and the legal things they're doing, and the firing of government officials when you aren't fitted to do that, change of constitution, a bunch of stuff. And he was just like, where exactly? I don't think that's wrong. I think that, and I'm like, wow. He said his wife um, got fired on a government job after 30 years directly from Trump. And he still feel like Trump is the guy. He feel like what he do actually wrong. I'm like, fam, your wife, I don't know this. You told me this. Your wife got fired on a 30-year job, lost her pension, lost everything directly because of Trump did some stuff he wasn't supposed to do. And you are arguing for Trump? Like, that affects your house. You just told me how that affects your household directly.
Well, he has 27 felonies.
Dog. So, but I understand also, and like I said, PNP, he always show up. I mess with PNP. He just got a difference in opinion. I don't have those kind of. If Rios told me something, Trump something, he not gonna not be my friend because he messed the other side like that. That's not how I get down. But I also understand when people who follow Trump,
his blatant support for Israel. Netanyahu, you're the greatest Jew who ever existed. The greatest Hebrew warrior ever is Netanyahu. Come on, man. Like,
yeah,
it's a bunch of stuff. Shit, he admitted he was wrong. He got rid of Elon. He brought Elon into the government, gave him oversight over the whole government.
That was crazy. And now they arguing every day on Twitter.
Now they arguing every day. He wasn't wrong about that?
That's
like,
absolutely insane, bro. But I think, let me ask you this. Are you, if given the opportunity, because you literally work, just say, forget the money part. If given the opportunity, would you ever leave America?
That's a broad statement. Like, that's like to go to what, a rich ass neighborhood, live in a castle, or to go live as a normal person and have to work, or do I have?
No. Let me set some. Okay, right. I understand that. I'm going to set some little bit of parameters, right? So, meaning you have the means to do so. Meaning you're not going to go somewhere and be broke and poor. You're not doing that. I'm saying like you have the means to do so. You got the means to thrive, and maybe depending on what country you live way better than you do here.
And
right?
Doing exactly what I do right now.
Content creating, that's how you do right now. You take care of your family here. If you do that, if you do what you do right now in Thailand, now you move it into maybe the 2%, 1% of Thailand.
Probably like North Korea.
They just opened. You read? I was about to.
I saw this.
Like that,
I want to go visit the tourism spot, the new hotel on the
new hotel, right? Do you want to? You want to stay though?
No.
Wait, do you even want to visit?
No.
No, I feel like.
Man.
That's my trauma speaking though. I feel like that's the setup.
It's a setup. It's a setup. Come. All blacks.
All of a sudden.
All blacks are welcome here.
All blacks are welcome. Hey, that's crazy. All
Come,
blacks are welcome.
come now.
Come.
I don't know. I think that sounds good and all, but I think I'm like out of ignorance and not knowing where I would go. I'm gonna have to say America. Like
Okay.
I'm here. I would have to look into it, and I know a lot of people have moved to places in Mexico. A lot of people have
Hmm.
moved down to South America.
Hmm.
But as for being ignorant, I'm gonna say I'm gonna stay here.
Yeah, I would definitely move. Um, I would definitely move. I'm thinking a couple places I would move to. I would move to Portugal for sure. Um, our Mexico City is beautiful and great for. They got a huge community of black people who thrive and are cool in Mexico City. There's just a couple of places for sure. Thailand, I'm still not sure, but even though I've heard for sure Thailand got a huge community of black people, they're thriving out there. If you make $3,000 a month, you are in the 1% of people in Thailand, of the richest in
Right.
the country.
Yeah.
Like
I'm
what?
I I think there's a lot of work to be done here in America for us. You know what I mean? Like
For
now,
sure.
if
But
I was going to uproot all of us,
who's
that
all of
was
us?
uproot all of us. Yeah, we going.
All who? The blacks?
Yeah, we leave it. And now if we all going, yeah, I ain't going by myself. It's like shit.
No, I mean like your family,
I go, my people go with me.
dude. What's crazy is,
We end up in Greenland, millions thick in Greenland.
dude, what they will blow Greenland up tomorrow if that happens.
Come, come.
All of a sudden they're at war. Greenland, like we
Greenland
were
ain't never
chilling.
been at war.
It
Like
was so
what?
peaceful here first. Dog, what?
Oh shoot. Oh
Dude,
man.
I would. Me and my wife talk about this all the time. I don't have to die in America. Like what happens is, man, what's funny is I meet tons of people all over the world, right? People ask me all the time, how do I do it? Like, why do you stay? Like people from other countries are asking, yo, like, why are y'all staying here?
Right.
Like, if they do all these things to y'all, right? If you and I can talk on a podcast about all these, because there's great things, but do the great things outweigh the bad things? Because what happens when the bad stuff show up at your front door, right? Like we could be the one getting kidnapped by ICE. First of all, it's probably coming, right? We could be one getting the one, which a lot of us are. You know, like when these
We've
ICE.
been getting kidnapped
No,
for
no, no. What I'm saying
50,
is for
like
sure. No, it's been happening for sure. 100%. But I'm talking about under the guise of the law, right? And here's the difference. What I'm saying
yeah.
is, look,
I'm saying
now the
they
law,
they they created crack cocaine and kidnapped us.
100%, 100%. I'm not saying I understand that. What I'm saying is that it's one thing to be harassed and oppressed by everybody here in the country for the most
Right.
part, right? But under the guise of the law, where people are putting laws in place to do these things, like for example, ICE show up at your house, knock on the door, you open or don't open, and they run in, right? So, and I'm talking about not because there was a crime or we think this. We're saying you don't belong here. We're sending you, and we're gonna send you to a country you've never been, right? It's like that's happening to people every day right now, right? You see what happened with the Haitians? They tried to do that with Haitians in New York, and they got their ass whooped.
Mm-hmm.
Haitians, got with them, but it's happening. It's happening, and that's just one thing. I'm not saying that that's the thing. It's just I just can't help but to think like what makes us. I think as now if I'm just talking black and white, I think we as a people, black and white people, we have a weird codependent relationship with each other. It's a weird thing, right? Because we all cause, we all say racist, 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 and there's people that's like go home, go home, go home, go back to Africa, all these things, these like statements of like we ain't messing with y'all, back and forth. I'm generalizing here, obviously. I don't feel that way, but there's a lot of people who do on both sides. But also, it's like when Marcus Garvey, when he tried to make the Black Star Line to get all his people go to leave America and go to Africa. That was a thing. It was a huge movement. He built ships. There were ships in place trying to take all the Africans back to Africa. Well, let's get out of here, right? If y'all don't want us here and we ain't messing with y'all, why are we staying here? When there's countries, there's a whole continent that we can go to, right? especially at the time, right? He said, "Why are we staying here?" Ghana had to open dual citizenship to let us know, like, yo, y'all can come here. There's dual citizenship open for you. If you are black in America, you have dual citizenship waiting for you in Ghana right now. Wait, why are you not coming? Why would you subject yourself to what's going on? It was bad for you before.
It's people
Watch
that
what
say,
happens
I
now.
will deal with police brutality because I don't feel like smelling goats all the goddamn time.
But see,
It smell like this. It smell like that. It this and that. Like it's some ignorant people in this world who will love the comfort of their trauma versus having to deal with something new, different kind of food, different weather, different
now I agree with this
forms
something
of
new part,
transportation.
but we have to also be. The problem is that most of us are ignorant.
Some of us don't need to be over there.
Most people
Also,
in general,
some
right?
of
Most
us
people in
don't need
general,
to. Some of us don't need to be over.
huh?
Some of us
You
don't
said
need to be over there.
for sure. I don't. I honestly, I don't want all y'all coming.
You like so,
but here's the thing, though.
I ain't gonna
But
change the name to Ghana to Gongsta.
God,
You guys want to visit Gongsta?
yeah, don't turn this into that. Don't. No, but I think we have to
Oh,
do our due diligence. Somebody got to step off because it's happening. There's people who are like, yo, I'm yes, it's a fear of the unknown, but I also don't like how I feel here. Right? I made a choice, me, right? Me and my wife had a long conversation. I made a choice to not have a kid. Like now, I'm a bonus dad, and thank God my wife has a son. I'm a bonus dad, right? And I've been in his life since he was 5. Now he also has a dad who's a dad. He's not a deadbeat dad. He's not.
yeah,
He wasn't. He's a good dad. He just got his own family and stuff. But he's also a dad. His actual biological dad. I'm a bonus dad, but I also didn't want to. I didn't want to have kids in this country in the way that it was going. I just didn't. I didn't have these slip ups. I made sure I was good, and I didn't want to consciously have a child in this country
right.
because of what we deal with daily. I don't want to have to worry about that. It's enough me worrying about myself and my wife and my son being out in the world now, my nephew, my family and stuff. But to raise a child in this climate when laws are changing, schools changing, agendas is ridiculous. They're all over the place, and I don't know what I don't even know what to even think nowadays when I'm watching something or hearing something or even looking around or scrolling down my timeline. There's so much stuff happening. It's like, so when you talk to people that out the country, they're like, "Yo, why do y'all stay? Like, what's the benefit of staying?" And then I would tell them what, because I know America,
Because
right? Because
I'm
the
waiting
stuff,
for Charles Manson's theory to come true.
what was that? What theory was that?
That
As soon as I heard Charles Manson, I know it's about to be some ignorance right here.
that black people were going to take over America with their brute strength and violence. But
Oh,
once they killed everybody and took over America, they were going to look to a white savior where he was hiding in the cave, and when he came out, they were going to announce him as the leader.
Charles Manson has a very colorful imagination.
And they won't be able to lead themselves. So me and my contingent will come out of the caves, and they will praise us, and we will run the
So
country.
he gave us credit for being like basically strong and athletic. And then, but we're too stupid to lead ourselves. So the racism kicks back in.
Kicks back
Right?
in.
But we'll lead them.
We'll lead them. I'll do it. No problem.
I'll do it.
Huh? You guys been looking for me?
Yeah, man. No, I think there's some. I've done enough research and talked to enough people to know that there's a beautiful life for you in other places if you're willing to go see, if you're willing to find out, if you're willing to. I think a lot of us are too comfortable and content with, like you said, people are content with the stuff they know. Look, I know this place. I know this. People won't leave their neighborhoods because they know the neighborhood,
Right.
right? I'm used to this. I know I know the niggas around the hood. I know the stores. I know the streets. I know the neighbors. And the whole time you live in like the dirtiest part of Watts, dirty part of Compton. They won't leave because they know it and they're used to it. My mama grew up here. My grandma grew up here. And I'm like, yeah, but what that mean?
What does
Like
that mean?
there's a place where you can enjoy some. Look, nowadays, like Rios is making a way for him to provide for his family without working inside the workforce. The more you be consistent, the more you have better ideas, the more you create more, the more money will come from this. It's going to grow. That money you make right now from this is not going to be consistent. It's going to grow if you stay on it and keep building better ideas, better content, better things, maybe more platforms, different stuff. Anyway, what I'm saying is that you're making a way for yourself to do this anywhere in the world, right? You build content, meaning as long as you got internet,
Right.
you can do that wherever in the world, right? Once you start making enough to where it's like I can take care of this. My wife don't have to pay no bills. I got rent. I got the basic essentials for this household. I got all that, whatever. And if you want to do something else, babe, you can, right? If you want to, cool. But now it's like once you sit back and you can realize that, you're like, wait a minute, I can do this from anywhere, right? And then what happens is it comes to a point where it's like, do you want to uproot your kids? Do you want to leave the school? They got friends, they got all these things, but your kids starting to graduate in a minute.
Right.
So you start to have these discussions about, damn, wait a minute, like I can go to Portugal where the healthcare is free and better than America's, right? It's free, better than America's, and making something like $2,000, $3,000 a month. You are like the top 1%, and the food is healthier, all organic, everything's farm raised, sourced, homeland sourced. Like once you start getting into all that, you just like Switzerland's virtually no violence,
Right.
none, right? I'm not saying I move to Switzerland. I'm saying I'm just bringing up different kind of things for different areas, and so you start looking at that. Switzerland, they let their babies sleep outside.
Right. Like the thing is, like really, like if we think like once the kids graduate or whatever, we can rent out our house and live pretty much anywhere in the world we want. Like if we use that income from renting the house and we just don't want to buy a house, we could just because it only takes so much to travel the world and backpack the world. Along with like if this does within 8 years grow to something incredible or whatever, we could just do whatever we want, like not be tied down. But I do like the comforts of America. There's a lot of comforts that America does afford us.
Like what?
Like access to anything and everything I want. You know what I mean? Like I can go to the grocery store. I can go here. I could go there within a walking distance all across the country. Like it's not like it's just a single part or portion of the country that has water. The whole country has absolutely everything. Even the worst places in America are better than some of the best places in the world.
Yeah, I think that maybe, right? I'm just saying this as a maybe.
Mm-hmm.
That may be a little ignorant of statement, right? I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Maybe, and I say that because you know, now if I'm talking about a third world country, right? Okay, cool, right? There's tons of countries that has the same access that you just explained. I'm not saying there's other access to things, but I'm talking about the one you just said, right? The affordability to walk anywhere, get water, go to the grocery store, everything here. There's tons of countries that do that same thing, right? Now, once you get outside of that, then cool, we'll have a discussion about, oh yeah, these countries don't have this. This may be a thing they don't have or whatever. But what you just said, there's tons of countries. Here's the thing. And when it comes to like, if you want to talk about water and holes, or maybe there's countries where people got to walk miles to get the water. Now we're talking about third world. We're talking about small compared to grand, right? Which is a fact. You are right. There's a fact. They do have countries that's like that. But I'm not speaking of those countries. And if you have the choice of means to go, that's not the place you would go. Like I'm not like Africa is the biggest continent in the world. It's bigger than anywhere. You can fit Asia, Europe, and North America inside of Africa. That's how big it is, right? Now, if you just speak to me about the one small village in Africa, I'm like, nigga, how many countries in Africa? I don't even know how many countries. It's tons of countries in Africa. Just in Africa alone, that nobody lives like that.
Do you trust that? But do you have confidence in their military?
Well, see, look, I was going to say the only point that's one of the points that we do have access. We're the best at war.
We're the best at staying safe.
We're the best at war.
Like so, we're like
right?
not that we're the best at war. We've fought everybody else's wars. Like I'm talking about here at home, we're the best at leave us the hell alone.
We're the best at war.
With the threat of what we have. We've lost all the wars, so we're not good at war.
We didn't lose all the wars. Rios, are you crazy,
We lost Vietnam. We retreated out of Vietnam.
dude? It's that's so, but it's so political. That's a deeper context of what happened. America is the best. We're bred and raised to war, to fight. Nobody, and I absolutely, that's the one thing I'm very confident in. I'm not talking about facts. What I'm about to say is my opinion, right? The one thing I'm confident in with this country, don't get me wrong, I like America. I'm not talking like bad about America.
No, yeah.
One thing I'm very confident in is that war. Nobody, absolutely nobody want problems. None. Don't name a country. I don't care who you name. Nobody want problems. That's what we do for sure. We war. Nobody wants a problem. That's why America's so cocky when it come to war. Because no matter what these niggas is talking about, Donald Trump and them know, and forget Donald Trump, forget him. Our military force know that, nigga, nobody, on the end of the day, nobody want to do nothing. Nothing with America. You want to count numbers of nukes, planes, jets, ammo, whatever you want to name, and we're the best at it. So that's the point. I think somebody said it up here. I think it was Sir No Face when he said, oh, this is what I was going to respond to earlier. He said, if World War III happens, America would be the safest place to be for sure. That's a damn fact. Because niggas don't want no phase. The only problem we'll have, if anything, right, if other countries join up on a mass scale against just us. But that means other countries will have to flip for that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, if that happens, you know, I mean, that's...
We haven't even had to defend ourselves in our country against another country in so long. Like, really, like, defend. Like, we've been on attack in help of other countries. Like, let's go over here. Like, I'm coming to invade because you might have weapons of mass destruction. That's not a war. That's just an invasion. Like, that's like, I'm going to come topple your government and place people in that I want to place there and get a foothold over here. Like, people have been saying, like, we've been at war.
Modern day colonization.
Yeah, exactly. Right? It's not, war is literally go obliterate them and then take everything. Like,
take everything. Right. That's what we're good at. And we don't make it seem like that. We don't make it seem like that because that's technically unlawful, right? And it's war crime. Now you can't technically do war crimes. Though war crimes happen every war, right? So that's one thing I got confidence in, that when it comes to war, that's it. Nobody want no problems. It's like even when 9/11 happened, it was a slip up. Somebody slipped up. They got that off, whatever. But on the other side of that, all hell.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is when you hear about wars, you hear about these grand wars, you hear about that war with 9/11 and all these things, but the wars that happen in between that, the stuff you don't hear about, the invasions of countries, America sitting in places, pillaging and murdering niggas, that's why nobody want no problems.
Yeah, they don't. And we also don't want problems either, though. We don't want no nuclear war. We don't want no nuke shit to happen. That's why only people that get messed with are people that have no nuclear capability.
What you mean?
Like the people that get invaded, the people that like Iran. Like we wouldn't have did that to Iran if they had nukes on hand. Like we wouldn't do boastful shit if there's threat of nuclear war. If there's threat of a nuke being shot, we're not doing too much to get involved and going into a country. Hey, this is what we're doing now. But everybody is brazen. People are brazen and boastful and confident to do shit to countries that have no threat of ending the world.
Yeah, but I think you may be giving other people too much credit. I understand what you're saying, but I don't know about that. And I say that because
name the last three places that have been like all of them. Every single one has no nuclear capability.
That's fine. I can't, right? So, but what I'm saying is that, I'm not saying you're not. I'm not saying you're not wrong. I'm saying I don't have the answers. I'm just saying I think in my mind. I think that I'm not sure about that. I think America may be a little too cocky. Now, also though, America not stupid. So to your point, right? America not stupid. I know if this nigga got a gun, I'm not quick to run over there and try to shoot at him when I know he can shoot back, right? So I understand what you're saying. If I know somebody got nukes, you ain't quick to just do nothing. But if you want to compare the numbers of nukes from here, from America to anybody else in the world, the numbers are ridiculous. I mean, I need to look it up because I just seen the list. I should have saved it. If you want to
Russia,
compare the number, huh?
Russia got
Russia
monster
got
numbers.
what?
Monster
They got
numbers.
what? Oh,
Monster.
let me show you the number right now
We have more
compared to
small
Russia.
ones. We have
No,
more.
no, 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 no. Let me show you the number right now.
Okay.
I just seen the list. Topples.
We have so many that were decommissioning nuclear weapons.
Let's see. All right, let me see. Which one is this one? Is this? I need to see if this is new too. I'm trying to find these are old. No, nigga, why would you show me a list from 1977? Let me see. Okay, all these old lists. Let me see. And America's on top of these old lists, but these not. It's not fair. It's an old list. I wouldn't even use the old list. Anyway, I'm gonna find it. But yeah, I don't know if we. I don't know if that's the thing. I'm saying I don't know if that's the thing. I'm not saying you're wrong. If you know, you know. What I'm saying is, I just don't think America thinks like that. I think yeah, nobody's stupid to run in a spot that they got the gun already. Yeah, you're right, right. But I also is that this company, the history this company has with rape, pillage, murder, colonization. I don't think they turn it off because you're just dealing with another country. I think they've been if they can and would, there's a plan for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I don't know.
But that's the thing. So with that, you have to also take in consideration your allies. And where is Israel located? Right next to everybody who wants to nuke their ass if they had a nuke.
Right. Yeah.
So you have to keep these people without the capabilities of what you don't want to happen. You want to protect one over the other because of this. And they do shit. They test the waters with countries a lot of countries that don't have that capability.
Maybe. You know, and I'm not saying you're wrong.
Oh, so wait. So you think Israel would have bombed Iran?
I'm not saying that at all.
If they had nuclear weapons.
Wait, do I think Israel would have bombed Iran?
If they already had nukes on deck.
If Iran did?
Yes.
No, I don't think they're quick to do that. No.
Yes. So what the
whole your point though, I don't think nobody is. I don't think nobody's quick to do that.
But that's
I'm with you on that.
So look, they took out the top nuclear scientists.
Three spots.
No, the general and the top scientist that was developing uranium enrichment or whatever. And so and then they took out 3 spots. But if that had already taken place and that was already done, they are tiptoeing the line like, hey, what do we do here? Let's really have meetings of peace. Let's really talk about this peace shit. Because they were in the middle of having peace talks. But they were like, let's talk to them, simmer them down. And while we're simmering them down, let's take them back a few years from development.
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know. I can't say. I'm not fighting you at all.
Yeah.
I don't have all the expertise in that area to speak on. I can't say. I just know I'm only going by the history of who we are and the kind of like it's America's straight up a war machine. They don't produce nothing else. They just everything we produce is from other countries, and most of it's been taken. You know what I mean? Taken or passed over or made or deals we make with hustlers. America's great hustlers also. So you know, I can't say, but it's interesting. It's interesting nonetheless. I know to the original concept of leaving or not. Like for me, that if that's the thing I worry about that here. As far as like if we go to war, like I don't want to be on this earth. I don't want to see American World War III from no side. I don't want to be. I don't want to be nowhere for. I'd rather be here. Obviously, for sure. I'd rather be here in America. You know what I mean? But also, like, you know, the conversation we have with ourselves, the things I think when I'm by myself about life, laws, country, constitution, what's heading for what's happening to us in front of us. All the people that are affected by so many things right now, with Roe versus Wade, him cutting all the Medicare and Medicaid, ICE doing what they doing, Constitution steady changing. He's changing other laws right now. Nigga only been in office for 7 months.
That's it.
And I'm like, yo, it was uncomfortable. I was having these conversations of like, do I have to be here before he was in office. And I'm like, yo, what is going on? Like, and the people I know who have moved, and people I talk to in other countries, like, yo, why would you subject yourself to that? Because y'all not fighters. Y'all not gonna top of the government. That's not what y'all do,
It's
right?
not possible.
That's it's not possible because it's possible it's gonna be a bad backlash, right? Right. You know what I mean? So there's that, but y'all don't even have the heart to do it. Here's the thing: in certain places, they almost go into their death fighting for it. But we've been raised and programmed a certain way. We won't do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like it's kind of like the do for self thing. Like,
Yeah.
why do I care about my people? Every part of us has been divided. I'm not talking about blacks. I'm talking about blacks on blacks, whites on whites, Asian on Asian, whoever. It's all been divided, right? It's divided by social class, the political party, religion. It's all divided. So you'll never get us all on one united front to do nothing,
Mm-mm.
right? The one time I did see where it kind of looked like that was with 9/11. And everybody had that American flag. Everybody feels so American all of a sudden. Even though the most heinous shit was going down on the other side of the world to innocent people, right? So I'm just like, what? It's just I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't have the words. It's crazy though.
It's the comfort zone. It's like the comfortability. You know what I mean? Like what you're comfortable with, what you're used to. Like, and then and then when you think about it, you do also kind of resort back to their safeties in numbers. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
what happens if shit hits the fan? Where's my support system? Where's my people? Also,
and that's hard to find when you start to feel like you're alone, or you start to feel like I'm fighting for people who wouldn't fight for me.
right?
You know what I mean? Yo, I do want to change topic. I'll ask you what you think about something. I know we've been on that America war political stuff, which I don't even think we talk about that much here, but we talk about everything, so it's all
Mhm.
good.
Yeah.
What do you think about Temple University launches the fall 2025 course dedicated to exploring Kendrick Lamar's life and musical impact?
I think it's dope. I think
I
it's
think it's dope
dope
as well.
because they are studying the life of somebody who has made it to where he's at and that studied somebody that came up from Compton from adverse situations to build to where he's at and studying the way he makes music, the way he has stayed solid and stayed who he was throughout the whole process. He hasn't changed up or made any significant or major differences in who he is. He's still like Kendrick. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
people who deal with him still deal with him as if he's Doc. Like he's still the same guy, but he's just an amazing
What?
situation.
Shout out to my man Joshua James dropped in. It's my good brother right there, man.
What up,
We're going
Josh?
on the we're going on the self. We go to what is it? What do you call it? Self? No, what do we call it? Like we're going on a men's kind of like how women have spa day, like a self relaxation, self kind of what's it called? Self something day.
Self.
What's the term I'm looking for? I forgot what
I
it's
don't
called.
know.
Anyway, we're kind of like so we all got together. We're going to Disneyland.
Okay.
Like, but not as family, not with
Self
our
care.
family.
Self care.
Self care. That's what I'm like. I can't think of self care. We're having a self care day. It's me and like 5 of my brothers. We're going on a self care day to Disneyland, right?
Mm.
And because against the narrative of first of all, grown men having a self care day, that don't happen. A lot of people don't do that, right? And also to do something like Disneyland was kind of like, feel like a kid again, go have fun, go explore, go. Most of us do camera work and content. Also, we taking cameras doing content there, so I'll be filming
Yeah.
there doing content. I wish I could do an IRL experience, but I don't have a battery to do that. I know you did it when you went to Magic
Yeah.
Mountain, right?
Magic knots. No, it's knots.
Knots. It was Knots. Okay. So I don't know about the battery stuff, but anyway, we supposed to be doing that Friday. I'm looking forward to doing that, getting out and doing that, man. I think we need it. We all work hard and got stuff going on, so need that break. Shout out to Josh, man. But back to the topic, though. I think it's awesome. Also,
I think it. He doesn't need any validation. Doesn't need any more be nullified. But I think what it does is put him in another bracket than a lot of other people. Like
100%.
put him in another
dude.
bracket beyond just rapper, beyond just this. It puts him in a place where very few have ever been.
Right. And I think he's the perfect candidate. Being the fact, okay, you got your skill, you got your hit records, you got your plaques and your stuff like that, right? But content, right? Content. When you talk about masterpieces like Good Kid, Mad City, right? When you talk about masterpieces like To Pimp a Butterfly or Damn, you think about these projects. You're talking about these. For me, these are time markers um, that can point you to a specific point in time in your life where certain things were happening in the culture because he wasn't afraid to speak on it.
Right.
Right? It's the reason why We Gonna Be All Right is damn near like a black national anthem. People still playing it at like
King
different
Kunta.
moments. Right. It's like, bro, it's. And here's the thing. I did a post about this recently too. I think a couple days ago or yesterday. I forgot. There now that we're post Kendrick Drake stuff, this news come out, and then people who missed any kind of like people can't read the room of saying like this wouldn't happen if the battle didn't happen or if
Yeah.
Not Like Us didn't happen, right? When I posted facts that no, this has been happening since Good Kid, Mad City. There's been college courses since Good Kid, Mad City. Like I posted 5 courses on my page with the colleges attached and what the class is about, right?
That's like
And
saying, that's like almost like saying he wouldn't have won that championship if there wasn't a basketball there.
that's a fact.
He wouldn't have been able to do that crossover if that basketball wasn't there.
That's sick.
Like what?
It's sick.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
no one's giving credit to the rim. Like, like what kind of argument are you making?
I think
Like,
people need something to complain about.
This guy, this dancer won a dance competition, a world dance competition, and then the number one complaint was they're not giving enough credit to the song he danced to.
That's insane.
And that's a lie. And I just made that up.
Right. I'm saying absolute insanity anyway.
It's absolute insanity. He just break dance or did the coldest dance, but you're like, yeah, but he wouldn't have been able to do that without that song.
That's why I love when people bring up the Pulitzer Prize.
Yeah.
It's like, matter of fact, I don't know. I'm not sure. Has any rapper ever got the Pulitzer Prize other than Kendrick?
I don't know. Let me see.
I don't think so. Maybe though, because it's been some.
What needs to be studied is how Macklemore won the best rap album of the year over Kendrick.
That was oh no, Kendrick the only rapper.
Yep. Right.
For the Damn album.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm talking about I don't have those kind of conversations because you start to argue the opinion of rap, but I'm not here to argue. I'm not here to argue Rios' opinion on rap because what he likes is what he likes. He's not wrong in that. It's what he likes. But if Rios start stating facts about an artist and then I start combating those facts with my opinions, there's a problem.
That's a problem,
right? My opinion don't matter when we're talking about facts. None of our opinions matter when we talk about facts. Opinion is just opinion. It just means this is what you think about something. But when something is what it is, what are we even talking about?
Incredible.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know, man. I'll be tripping on. He's great. He's doing amazing things. I think people, I mean, for the most part, it's just like little noise. It's not even noise enough to like really outshine what the news is about Kendrick. You know what I mean? Whether it's we get another college course or whatever the case may be. For that to even be news is just like it was kind of so regular. Why is it news?
Hey, I'm just going to give a warning and just let people know. Just brace yourself for a lot of good shit about to happen for Kendrick Lamar.
For sure.
Just brace your life.
For sure.
As much as you want to fight the wave and what's happening, Just get ready for more good things to happen to him. It's coming. He's got the moment right now. He's always had the moment. He's always been good. It's just that y'all are catching on to his greatness right now.
I think that's what it is. A lot of people are kind of, somebody made a great point when they said, I mean, I hate to keep going back to this battle, but we're in context of what we're talking about. Somebody made a comment where, though most of us, I mean, although a lot of us are fans of the battle because of we're hip hop fans, but we're actually arguing with people that are Drake fans. They're not fans of hip hop; they're fans of Drake.
Right.
And outside of Drake, they don't really relish in hip hop like we would, right? So it's hard when you're arguing from that standpoint, of of what makes sense, right? So you're not arguing. It's like I'm arguing excuse me. I'm arguing corporate about culture. It's not going. You know what I'm saying?
Like it's such a like. Let's look at the gravity of the situation. Somebody rapped so good and did a diss song so good that another rapper sued his own record label.
Yeah.
And you guys want to say, and the lawsuit is still going right now, it's still open. And then you guys want to say, why do you guys keep talking about it? Because the guy who you're supporting is still talking about it. He's still talking about it as if this shit happened yesterday. He just made a new song discussing shit that involved the beef. What do you mean we can't talk about it? Yo, rapper is still rapping about it.
For sure.
A year later.
He dissed the people that not even in the battle.
The people that supported the person who dissed him.
Who supports you also?
We can't talk about it? Come on, man. Like, he's still talking about it. He's still doing little silly shit about it. Like, it's still relevant. Kendrick is doing good. He ain't made no, like, just get ready, y'all. Just get ready for the fucking wave.
Yeah. It's sick. And you hate to have that comment because I want to have conversations about like real breakdowns of what's been going on. Or I think what happens is that I stopped talking about the music per se. Well, because Kendrick don't need to drop no more that pertains to that, right? And so we get a song from Drake, and we got to hear you respond to stuff that happened a year ago. When, I mean, who, like, after what? Not Like Us?
After I dropped the album that promoted all the young rappers in LA.
You're like, what? What? You talking about the pop up a year or something later in a new song? You talking about the pop out show? Yeah, nah. Yeah, I did just come across something on my timeline, which I thought was insane. I want to show you this. Yeah. Diddy lawsuit claims he used Notorious Big's shirt to masturbate in orgasm.
What?
Any thoughts, Rios? Any thoughts?
Ton. Appropriate? Needs to be said no.
Yo, how freaky must one be? First of all, who even knows this?
And how is it a lawsuit?
That's what I'm saying.
How?
Like what?
Who was the shirt owner that's suing? Like, that was my Biggie shirt that you did that on. I'm sue you for. Like, how does that even happen? I don't even know. I don't even want to hear no more Diddy shit because Diddy did some wild shit that I don't even want to think about. A big ass 400-pound plus man's shirt. Like, what are you doing? Like, what is you? I don't even want to talk about it. I don't know. That's disgusting.
And somebody called Cap. All right. I want to read it here. Let me see. I don't know if it's Cap or not. Let me see. But I don't post it because TMZ posted it. It said, that's Diddy's attorney responding. Said the trial victory proves it's all lies. The trial victory. That's Diddy team, legal team. Said legal team is touting their huge victory at the federal criminal trial last week, while blasting the latest lawsuit against the mogul, claiming he doused a man with his semen after masturbating into a notorious Big shirt. Attorneys for Diddy had now responded to the suit filed Monday by John Doe plaintiff, who accuses Diddy of ejaculating into the garment and tossing it at him, causing semen to splash on his lap and arm. Lord have mercy. Okay. The suit comes just days after Diddy was acquitted of racketeering and sex trafficking charges at his federal criminal trial in NYC. Though he was convicted of lesser charges of transportation, engagement, and prostitution. In a new statement, Diddy's lawyer told TMZ, Mr. Combs' trial and acquittal on trafficking and RICO charges prove what we've been saying all along. Mr. Combs had never sexually assaulted or trafficked anyone. Okay, the article goes a little.
I don't know if I can believe or even think to even give any credit to someone who I'm just not mature enough yet to even think about what someone thinks of or what they did, someone who rubs other man's ejaculate on their nipples.
So I'm glad you said that because I literally was going to say what you didn't argue was that a woman, somebody ejaculated on a woman, and then she brought the semen into your room where you were at, and then rubbed that on your chest area, right? That happened. So to me, not that I necessarily believe it, that's not far off from this story. That story was way worse than what I just read. That's my thing. That story was way extra out to what I just read.
Hey, that's extra. I actually have to get off here, Luck. I'm sorry that it's so abrupt, but I got to talk to the construction guy. He's doing the concrete. I appreciate you. Thank you for everything, brother. I'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. Maybe we got to do the R files too.
Yeah, this week for sure. It's happening this week for sure. So
okay, let me know. Not Friday, but any other day.
Okay, let's go.
Well, I guess it got to be tomorrow.
Yeah,
whatever. Anyway, all right, go do your thing, man.
All right.
Yeah. So look, I'm not saying, Mr. Cephas Stafford, I'm not saying that who is lying or not. I don't know. You know, I heard a bunch of different stuff in that trial, right? I just know that sounds absolutely crazy, and I know the stuff that did happen that I guess nobody actually defended sounds way more crazy than what I just heard about the shirt, right? So that's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? If it's a lie, okay, that's cool. You know, but yeah, nah, that's absolutely crazy. And you know what the crazy part about this whole trial is that, like, right, we never really got into like sex trafficking, I don't think, or like the stuff that he really was supposed to go down for, the RICO stuff like that. And it just really exposed him. It's almost like it was a brand massacre, right? It was like, we're gonna massacre your brand, we're gonna kill your brand, we're gonna make it so you can't be the front man of nothing, right? Your brand is messed up. People can't get next to this super freaky deaky dude who beat a woman up on tape because the tape happened. That's still gonna follow him and mess him up. And then all these crazy tales of sex stuff y'all had going on, that's super extra out. So no brand can get next to you. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. No brand can get next to you. No brand can. So that's a wrap, right? And so people are started claiming like, okay, well, what about Chris Brown? You know, the Rihanna thing, and then Chris Brown still got a career, stuff like that. Yeah, but that's a little different. One, we didn't have a videotape of that. Could y'all imagine if there was an actual video of, not that he didn't do it, he did it. We know he did it. We know he's guilty of it. He admitted it. Rihanna admitted it. We knew. We've seen the evidence. We know that he did it. It happened. But could you imagine if there was a tape of Chris Brown beating up Rihanna? Are y'all? Could you imagine? Like, it over. In my opinion, it would have been over. So there being a tape of what he did to Cassie, and followed by a trial, and in that trial they talk about some of the craziest, nastiest stuff that you have done behind closed doors. People can't stand next to that. And he's a guy of big business. Pause. Right? He got business across with different corporations and stuff like that. So Once you get to talk about $100 million deals and big business like that, people can't stand next to that because your image has been sullied. It's dirty. It's a nasty image. So it's gonna hurt for sure like that. Now, will he survive after that? I mean, like not die, but I'm saying like, how will he thrive? Is it over for him musically? Do we have to become a silent partner in business? I don't know, but I don't see how he can be the Diddy you and I knew after something like this. Lies or not. And here's the cool thing about lies, right? Whether he lying or not. Once we hear all this other stuff, whatever anybody put on your name after that, for example, forget it. Here's the example right here. Chris Brown has the Rihanna thing to happen, right? He put his hands on Rihanna. Horrible. If a woman came out today and said, God forbid, but if it happened today, said Chris Brown beat her up somewhere, people are more inclined to believe it first because he has a history of doing that to somebody without doing any research. People hear the, it's the climate we in today, it's the era we in today. People will hear something, hear that happened, and then go back to the Rihanna thing and be like, yeah, I can see him doing it because he's a quote unquote abuser, right? Not that he was a kid and probably learned his lesson, made a mistake, learned his lesson, moved on from that, got counseling, did all the things, and probably don't do that no more. I'm not defending or not. I'm just saying like they don't even think about that. So with somebody like Diddy, they looking like, yeah, nah, you can't, And he is the kind of face of a brand, right? He was the face of Bad Boy. He was the face of Party, the Hollywood life, the rapper lifestyle. He was the face. I'm sure he did some behind the door business, but he was used as the face of selling everything because that's how he marketed himself. He was the guy that can sell a lifestyle and a look. But you can't do that anymore because your name has been sullied. It's been dirty. It's been filthy, right? And so, yeah, it's all bad. Yes, sir, no face. I hear you, but I don't know. Like, seeing it is one thing. Hearing it is one thing. Seeing it, if there was a tape, that tape lives on. We just heard about the Rihanna thing. Like, it's a huge difference if there was a videotape. If you see, look, it's one thing to hear about it, but to see a video, this is what you got to think about. You got to see the biting of the lip or how angry somebody was, how almost like people become like a devilish figure in anger. And you see a monster maybe standing over a little woman, like hitting her in the face or like running. That's a different kind of thing. People can't digest that. And if it's a video, that means that video lives on. People will always be able to see it. They can throw it in your face, remind the new people that this happened. Think about the Chris Brown fan who was born like in super young and didn't really get with the Rihanna stuff. They didn't really experience what it was like when that was happening. And then they find a tape of Chris Brown like aggressively looking like a monster, beating up some. That's a lot, bro. It's a lot. Yeah, I hear you, but hell, some people still bang R. Kelly, but it's over. There was a video. Once again, there was a video. And that video still stayed with him. And though he put out albums after that and made hit records, stuff like that, that video always stayed with him. People always look at the Aaliyah thing happened. He actually married her when she was 15. We all knew it. It happened. The parents annulled the wedding. So that actually happened, right? But that video came and it stayed with him the whole time. Now he made records, he made hit records, he made you dance, do all the things. But there was a whole group of people still calling him a rapist and a child molester. That never left. It never left, right? And then the documentary came out. So people are now reminded and then get to talk to physically see witnesses, the people in that position talk about their time being molested and raped and coerced and all this stuff, and hear about the parents sending their kids over, and then they were reminded of that, right? And then a court case came, and then that did it. So it was like a growing of things happening. So this is different in my opinion. It's just, Yeah, for sure. You know, and hell, Russell Simmons, he's in Bali right now. He just happened to move to Bali when this case was coming up somewhere where you can't expedite, was it extradite? Um, and hell, he met Kimura when she was 15. You know, which lets you also lets you know this, right? The climate is sick, right? If you met this young lady when she was 15 as a model, that means you were out and walking around with her at that age, and nobody said nothing. They let you do it. They watch it happen. They watch you be out with this young lady, and nobody said nothing. Then they watch you marry her, then have kids with her, knowing the history of what that happened. Nobody said nothing. Nobody said anything. So I'm letting you know how sick the climate is. Why isn't nobody saying anything? Why isn't that a thing? Why isn't it a problem? Right? There's rumors of Foxy Brown being too young, messing with people also. And nobody said nothing. So the climate is a little sick. And we're watching it happen a lot. And you know, now it's like nowadays people start going to jail. And I'm like, man, R. Kelly went to jail. You know how much, bruh? R. Kelly went to jail. When did he go to jail? What year was this? When he finally went? Let me see. Let me see what year he what time he went when he went to jail. But quit 2021, right? So R. Kelly went to jail in 2021, I think. Yeah. Oh, or 2022. 2022, he was sentenced to 30 years, right? That tape, first of all, he married Aaliyah when I was in high school. I was in high school. So around 96, 97 is when he married Aaliyah. That the sex tape came out. I don't even know what sex tape. I don't even want to have that in my Google cookies. So let me not even type that. But I forgot that sex tape came out sometime after that. Because I remember being at the studio and somebody talked about he had a sex tape that leaked and had a bunch of women on it. And the last girl was the quote unquote 15-year-old girl years ago. And he's just getting locked up in 2022. So stuff been happening. This thing has been a thing. He's been around some of the most famous people in the industry. It wasn't a secret. These people knew. That means the climate is sick. Straight up. Yeah, for sure. I heard. And yeah, she probably did. I think she did. And I think she's aggressive. All right. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking to you, Jen, directly as far as like Ann. I'm saying like, yeah, that happened, but you know the consequences. Women hit dudes every day. It don't make it right. You shouldn't put your hands on nobody. The minute you fire back, and the minute you go all man, strong strength, and do all that, whatever, guess who get in trouble? Guess who get a bad? Guess who get a bad rap? And at the time, we didn't notice about Rihanna, right? We didn't know about like we just knew that was Barbados, little American sweetheart from Barbados over here. She's a cute little Rihanna. She haven't dated anybody yet. Not that we didn't know about any rumored things yet. And she getting with Chris Brown. We all the relationship cute. They like each other cute. And then boom, the fight happened. And then we seen her face. So what now? I didn't see that and say like, well, damn, who hit who first? Right? I know how that happened. We've been around this kind of situation. I've seen women hit dudes before, and I've seen dudes knock women out. Right? Now I'm not with that. Right? I've been slapped in the face before by a girl. Nothing. I've never in my life, not one time, not nowhere, ever hit a woman for hitting me. First of all, I never got hit by a woman just one time, but I never. There's no sign of those things out here. We be beating up women. It's out. Just don't do it. It's out. It's out. That's it. You know. You seen her face? That's what happens when a a bigger, more muscular, more stronger figure brings power to a woman. So yeah, yeah, we understand the double standards, right? And since we're in a world where we all understand like double standards and what you can and can't do, then we suffer the consequences of these same things. Is it messed up? I don't know. It depends on whose opinion it is. I think you shouldn't put your hands on nobody. I think women or men keep your hands to yourself. Period. And I believe if you hit somebody, whatever happens after that, I'm not saying it's fair, not at all. But I'm saying the consequences coming with that is coming regardless. Now, whether you right or wrong, I'll let court figure that out, or I'll let the police figure that out, or you and him figure that out, right? But once, because if a dude do it first, saying you're going to jail the same. It's messed up. You know what I mean? Crazy. Yeah, I didn't know about Crucci or not. I can't say. Um, I don't know. I hope not. If he did, then Hey, here's the thing too, man. It's kind of messed up. Like, in these times, your fame can almost get you out of anything. People will bypass almost anything. A couple of things: fame, looks, and money. Right? All three privileges: famous privilege, pretty privilege, financial privilege. People will overlook so many things if you carry either one of those, and don't be carrying all three, because it's like a golden ticket to do all kind of foul, dirty, nasty stuff, to be living way wicked, and people will give you passes because of it. And then you have the privilege of being a man or a powerful man in entertainment, or being a woman, and you got women's privilege, right? So it's different privileges, and people tend to lean back and forth to whatever their thing is a lot of times. If it means getting you out of trouble, you'll use it. As people most of the part are selfish a lot of times. They'll use it, but any of that privilege, push you through something. You know, so yeah, it's wild. It's wild, and but back to like the puffy stuff and stuff like that. Whatever, it's like R. Kelly stuff. Yo, this game is wicked, and I'm not here to preach. I'm not here to do none of that. It's just a wicked game we in, and people are getting off stuff. And then what happens is people tend to think they're invincible. Sorry, and invisible, but people think they're invincible and just getting stuff off, and that ain't cool. That ain't cool. You know, your fame, your power, or your money does not give you access to do whatever you want and act any kind of way that you want. That's not cool. There's some people living wicked, dark lives because they're too powerful, too famous, got too much money, right? And after so many slap on the wrist for undercover crimes that people have been sweeping under the rug, it's just you're creating this huge monster that you won't be able to put down, right? So when these monsters finally get to a point where they're being put down, when you see somebody so powerful that they end up going to prison for 30 years, or they end up mysteriously offing themselves, or like just falling hard, then I look at that like most likely somebody got their wrist slapped so many times that they just got out of pocket. Now you got to take them down. You know what I mean? People in sports do it all the time. If you hear about some dude, especially if you hear about a star, if you hear about some star player that beat his wife or something like that, most likely that football team been heard about that. They usually cover that stuff up. And don't be the star of the team. Horrible, I know, but it happens. Don't be the star of a team and they covered your stuff up and now you want to trade. Watch what happens next. Or maybe it's just my opinion. Power is scary. It's scary. It's almost like it's scary to be, I think, if you're not grounded or grounded in some kind of faith, if you're just out here living and you get too much access, too much access is dangerous, right? Too much access is dangerous. You know, once you buy all the cars and once you do all the things, I talked about this before. Once you have all the things, you start to look for other things to do because the stuff you have all the stuff it don't excite you no more. So you start to look for other things to entertain you, right? So what happens when you start taking materialistic things? You're done playing with them, and now you want to use people as your toys, right? And you start playing with people in that kind of way, whether it's sexual, just manipulative, power, just to see how you have power over somebody. People start being controlling. People start doing that because they're bored. They've done so much wrong, or they've done so much, and they may be in a sense of like feel like they can't be touched. So you start flexing that, see how close you can get to the line, and then once you cross the line, let's see how far I can go over the line. And now you're so far from the line, a lot of people feel like they can't be touched. They feel like God. They have so much money, so much things, so much power. Nobody can take me now. I can't do wrong. So imagine their secrets. Imagine the stuff they have hidden in the closet or under some dark, in some dark room or something locked away in some vault and just waiting for like to be exposed. Or maybe they feel like they can't be exposed. It gets scary. People out here like that. It's probably people right now you love, entertainers, artists, basketball players, singers, whatever. People with so much power, people that sit behind the executive tables and in the big rooms, in the C suites, and all the people like that with so much power. You'll be amazed at how some of these people are living. You'll be amazed, or you'll be shocked. You probably wouldn't even be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked, but you'll be surprised how a lot of these people are living. A lot of things that people are holding back. Look, you see what happened with the. We didn't talk about that. Me and Rios should have talked about that. The owner of the Dodgers, I don't want to misquote. They found out he's tied to some ICE detention centers. If I'm not mistaken, you just found out. I want to misquote. I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up now. Let me see. So yeah, it say Mark Walter. Y'all can look this up yourself and see if it's. I see a couple of articles out here talking about it. Um, Mark Walter, the principal owner of the Los Angeles Dodgers and CEO of the Guggenheim Partners, has financial ties to companies involved in immigration detention and surveillance. Guggenheim Partners has an investment in the GEO Group, a private prison company that operates ICE detention centers. This investment is valued at over $12 million. It said additionally, Walter is involved with the TWG Global, which partnered with Palantir Technologies. Palantir developed a surveillance platform for ICE called Immigration OS, which is used to track immigrants and support deportation. Fam. What? And people are finding out about it and they are not happy about it. And out of all teams in all cities, the Dodgers, yo, you talking about you can be excuse me, you can be tied to something the furthest thing from to be from each other is the Dodgers and ICE. I'm talking about in Los Angeles. The Latin community, what? Yo, And to my point, you never know who's connected to what and who's doing what. Now, some people have argued. I've seen on the internet saying, "Well, I mean, he ain't the one who doing it. His partners is the one." Fam, these people make too much money to not know what their billionaire partners, all these billionaires, what their billionaire partners are not doing. They have too much money, too much going on in them portfolios for you to not know who's tied to what. And if you do, let's give you some grace. If you do, that's irresponsible on your part, especially owning the Dodgers, which I'm sure you own a bunch of other stuff. So yeah. See, he's starting off to say the owner of the Lakers and Dodgers invested in ice camps. Not cool. This is LA, homie. Like a huge part of your support, Lakers and Dodgers, or any team out this way. A huge part of their support is from the Latin community. Huge. Wow. Wavy Cardi says Palantir was used in the Middle East to find terrorists. Now it's being used in the U.S. against the people. Bro, look, when it comes to these corporations, not all, I'm generalizing here. When it comes to these major corporations, they be having some stuff going on. And sometimes these are the partnerships we find out about through whatever channels or whatever. There's so many things. When you got shell companies covering shell companies, and this company hiding this company, hiding this company, and you sometimes you can't find a connection, but they are tied. Because the way people do their business. But when you find these companies be tied to some stuff, it'd be some stuff going on, and at the top of it, they don't care about nothing but the money. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care what's happening to the people down here. They don't care that people are suffering, being pulled from their homes, kidnapped, families separated. They don't care. They don't care that these people are being sent to detentions and deported to countries they're not even from. It's almost like we want to be extra petty. We're not going to just deport people. We're going to deport some of them to countries they're not even from. Whoever will accept them. Yo. Good old America. And that's the part, Steve, as you said, they don't care because it's not them. That'd be the thing. Since it hasn't hit their doorstep, they don't care. Which is the problem, right? Because just because what's going on with ICE hasn't hit my doorstep, I'm not saying it can't because they don't tell it with this government, but just because it hasn't hit my doorstep, don't mean I shouldn't care. These are people. I love people, period. Race, color, social class, I don't care. I love people. And if you can't sympathize or empathize with that, it seems pretty soulless. It's soulless at this point. And so you got to wonder, like, well, what is going on? Like, but like I said, when it gets to a certain level of power or a certain level of like control or whatever the case may be, you're dealing with a lot of soulless people. You ever watch people walk into like a town hall meeting, right? And whether it's a movie or in real life, whatever, and they may have developers coming in, talking about how they're tearing down the whole neighborhood and people are losing their jobs and stuff like that. You ever seen that? And then the people from the community, people are losing their homes, or the people losing their jobs are in these meetings, talking directly to the people who are responsible, crying out about what they're gonna do, and I'm losing my home, and these people just look at them with blank stares in their faces. They don't even care. They're doing town hall meetings because they got to. But you don't even. It's like if you look in their eyes, they're looking at people crying and pleading and begging and all this stuff. They don't even care. We're talking about soulless individuals. Soulless. They don't even care. They don't even feel what you feel. Some of them people are looking at the dollars. They don't even see you. You are water to them. They're looking straight through you. It's crazy, yo. It's crazy. And when I think about this country and just the times we're in now, still, now I'm a man of God, so I don't feel hopeless ever. I pray and I believe that God's gonna take care of everything. We're gonna go through something, but that's just where I am with it. I'm not asking anybody to be. This is where I am with it. So I'm never get to the point where I'm hopeless, right? But I'm also feel for my people. And when I say my people, I'm talking about everybody. In this instance, right now, I'm not just talking about black people. I'm talking about human race. I feel for us all because we're all suffering in so many ways in these modern times, especially in America. It feels like we're all being oppressed and we're all being lied to. And I don't care about who voted for who. I'm not going to say if you just lost your home and you just lost your job and it's because you voted for Trump. I'm not the guy that's going to laugh at you and say, "Aha, you should have voted for him." I'm not, right? Because I'm too much caught up on you just lost your house and your job. I'm sympathizing with that. I have no time to make jokes about the other part, right? So because I'm a lover of the human race, and I hope we shape it up. I hope we get it together. I can pray for the government, which I do. I pray for the government that they make the right decisions. Do I think it's going to work? I believe prayer does work, and I believe that I don't necessarily believe that the government's going to change right off the back, but I believe that whatever is going to happen is going to, and the end results is going to be all good. But I can't allow myself to feel hopeless because if I live in that fear, if it's going to be all bad and it's going to be like that, then what's the use of me being a man of God and believing in God? So I just hope, I hope for the sake of the human race, it gets better for us globally because America is the only place where horrible things are happening. And, I understand there's American privilege there also. If I'm sitting in a room on a computer talking to a camera with lights on, that's a privilege in itself. I don't have to be rich. I don't have to be skinny with the perfect body. I don't have to have the job with the most money. The fact that I'm in a house right now with four walls and I have lights and I have a computer and a phone, I'm talking to a camera, that alone is privilege. And it's more privilege than most people in the whole entire world. That's a fact, right? So I understand I have a privilege also, but I am a lover of humanity. I pray it gets better for all of us, no matter what kind of situation you're in. It can be better. I hope it gets better. I hate the fact that I'm talking out in a spitting. I hope y'all don't see that on camera. But I hope it's getting better for all of us. And it's just sad. And I hate to end the podcast on this kind of note, but it's real. Like I don't have the jokes to finish that out. I don't have the, crazy kind of, I just hope it gets better for us. And that's all I can do. Hope and pray. You know what I mean? It's messed up though, but I feel for all. With stuff going on with ICE, they're cutting government assistance out that's going to hurt tons of families with disabilities, moms at home with kids and trying to work and can't figure it out, and it's just going to hurt tons of people. And it's almost like you don't want to see what's coming next, because Trump is in there working on something to take away something from somebody. I know that. You know what I mean? So I pray for all y'all. Please continue praying for me. I hate that we ended the pod on this kind of somber note, but real life is real life, and sometimes you can't run away from it. You got to tackle it head on. And thank y'all for tapping in today with Relatable Podcast. Rios had to bail out, had to take care of some stuff at home with him, and you get a lot of construction done. But I appreciate you guys falling in. Thanks for everybody that hung out today. Thanks for everybody that left comments. Thanks for everybody that tapped in, laughed, joked, supported. If you haven't already liked the video, subscribe to the video for people who haven't subscribed. Every Wednesday at 11 a.m., me and Rios be back on here doing Relatable. We'll be tapping in with more y'all with more dope content. Gonna get more creative, better, surely for sure. And I'm just looking forward to, doing more dope stuff with y'all and tapping in with y'all. I love y'all, man. Thanks for tapping in. I'll see y'all ASAP. Peace.